He stepped out of his house at 6:38 p.m., wearing slippers, no wallet, no jacket. He told his wife he'd be back in 5 minutes. His phone last connected to a cell tower less than 300 meters from his front door. It has never connected again. This is Case Zero. Tonight's file is inspired by real events. Names were changed, details were altered, but what happened next is exactly why this case was never reopened. He was in his early 30s, worked a regular job, paid his bills on time, no criminal record, no known enemies, no history of disappearing. Dinner was still cooking on the stove. His phone charger was plugged in, his keys were on the table. This was not someone preparing to leave his life behind. This was someone stepping out briefly and expecting to come back. At 6:38 p.m., he leaves his apartment. At 6:41 p.m., his phone connects to the nearest tower. At 6:47 p.m., his phone sends one final data ping. CCTV footage shows him walking toward a grocery store less than a minute away. He never enters. The street camera facing the entrance was later reported as being under maintenance. That camera was never repaired. Police classified the case as a voluntary disappearance within 72 hours. Search efforts were scaled down. Flyers stopped printing. Leads dried up. His family disagreed. He left behind his identification, his phone charger, his documents. Days later, his wallet was found near a bus stop, 2 kilometers away. Nothing was missing. Behavioral analysts reviewed the case quietly. Their conclusion was unsettling. People who plan to disappear take money, they take documents, they take time. He did none of that. Instead, his behavior suggested an interruption, something unexpected, something immediate, something that didn't allow him to finish the errand he stepped out to complete. Why did his phone last ping from an alley behind the store? Why was his transit card used the next morning when he was already missing? And why was this case downgraded before these questions were ever answered? No official explanation was recorded. Years later, 2 older missing person files surfaced. Different names, different dates, same alley. All 3 cases were marked closed. Some cases aren't solved, they're simply silenced. After the case was quietly downgraded, the official investigation slowed to a stop. But questions continued to surface. Investigators retraced his final known route, from his apartment to the corner of the street, to the grocery store he never entered. Less than 60 seconds of walking. Yet somewhere along that short distance, something changed. Phone data showed a brief signal from an alley behind the store, an area not visible from the main road, an area without active cameras. According to records, that signal lasted only seconds, then silence. Search teams later inspected the alley. No signs of a struggle, no discarded belongings, no witnesses willing to speak. It was as if the moment had been carefully erased. Family members pushed for a deeper review. They requested phone records, transit data, nearby surveillance from adjacent buildings. Most requests were denied. The explanation given was simple. There was no evidence of a crime. But behavioral experts disagreed. They noted something subtle but critical. People who leave voluntarily follow patterns. They prepare. They hesitate. They leave traces. This case showed none of that. Instead, it showed interruption, a break in routine, a moment that forced an immediate decision. One expert described it as a sudden deviation caused by external pressure. In other words, something he did not plan for. As days turned into weeks, new details quietly emerged. A transit card registered activity the morning after his disappearance. One entry, one exit. No cameras captured who used it. The location was never publicly disclosed. Police later stated the activity could not be conclusively linked. the file remained closed. Years later, an independent researcher noticed a pattern. 2 older disappearance cases, different neighborhoods, different years. Same final phone behavior, a short signal, an unmonitored location, a rapid downgrade. All 3 cases shared one detail, an alleyway just outside routine surveillance. Each case ended the same way. No suspects, no answers, no reopening. Officially, there was nothing more to investigate. But unanswered questions remained. Why was the final phone signal never forensically examined? Why was the transit data dismissed? And why were these cases classified as unrelated? There are files that fade with time. And there are files that are actively buried. Case 0 exists for the second kind, because some disappearances are not accidents. They are interruptions. And some stories are not forgotten. They are silenced.